had a lot of fourth quarter comebacks, so we know you can play winning football. Just go out and
Caroline. All righty. Hello, D-Gens. Welcome to Degenerate Takes. I, of course, am the Brofect one, AJ. Happy Sunday, January 4th, 2026. It is week 18 of the NFL, the final Sunday of the regular season before we get into playoffs, and we've got a lot to break down today, and including this incredible matchup. Bless over in the chat. Good morning. Hope you're doing well today and ready for some great week 18 football. Saints Falcons. This one meaning a hell of a lot more than we could have thought. The Buccaneers needing the Saints to win, Panthers needing the Falcons to win for either of them to be in after what was a great game yesterday. Really thought Carolina was going to get them there for a second, but hey, you can't be playing the refs and the Buccaneers at the same time. Atlanta 4.5-point favorites, 35.5 is the total. Looking at the coverage, 53% of the bets, 56% of the money coming in on the Saints. Falcons, it is coming out now that Kirk Cousins did wake up with an illness this morning, but is scheduled to still be playing. So that's a nice piece to keep in there as well. With that being said, I like how this Falcons team has played. I like how Kirk Cousins has really kind of come back, in a sense of really stepping in, and with Michael Penix being out and everything like that. And I think it's going to continue. However, it cannot be understated how well Tyler Shuck has been playing since he has been the starter for the New Orleans Saints. Seriously, a whole different ball club when you're talking about the Saints and Tyler Shuck. And I love what the Saints are doing. And I think the Saints are going to go out on top. I do like Saints plus the 4.5. I do like Saints on the money line today. And again, I think it is going to be, kind of a shitstorm, but it's going to be a hell of a football game, and one that does have a lot riding on this one. But do I think the Saints will cover 6? Yeah, I think the Saints can cover 6. I like the 4.5 as well. But definitely going to be leaning on that money line as we were talking about. Love the Saints today. Then you got the Browns and the Bengals. Bengals 9.5-point favorite with the Saints defense line injuries. I could see, yeah, of course. But Bijan is going to eat one way or the other, the way I look at it, Chama. But it really just kind of matters how they're going to call the game. And, we're starting to get into that territory. A loss helps a little bit more than a win in this situation with draft order and everything like that. And, not to mention, do you really want to take an opportunity for Bijan to go ahead and blow out an ACL or something? So I wouldn't be surprised if we even see a reduced number of snap counts when it comes to, when I was doing my research earlier today on and I'm getting used to it. It's one of those ones with the little thumb thingy. It's weird, but we're going to make it work. Anyway, reviewing the incentives today, I did not see any for Bijan Robinson, and so that part doesn't really worry me. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a lot of Bijan today, and instead we see him, kind of not relaxing, not taking it easy, but making sure he doesn't get injured, and so he can come into next season healthy and have a productive offseason. Do I like Jags minus the 10? Going up against the Titans, they're 13.5-point favorites, 10, I guess, depending on when you got the line, where the line is at. 61% of the bet, 68% of the money coming in on the Jaguars, depending on where that line's at. Some book has it at 4.5. That can't be real. But, this is one of those games, like, who's playing for what in this one? What are the Jags really playing for? They're kind of locked in where they're at seeding-wise. The thing I would look out for, though, is Tony Pollard today. Tony Pollard for the Jaguars does need 2 more rushing touchdowns to earn an additional $200,000 and needs another 66 rushing yards to earn $250,000. So $450,000 on the line for Tony Pollard today. So I wouldn't be shocked if we see Tony Pollard getting in there a lot. I do like Pollard for 2 touchdowns going today. I like him for at least one of those and then over 50 yards for sure. You bought 3 points off. Yeah, I kind of like Jaguars minus that 10 there. I think the Jaguars are a good team. We haven't talked about them much because of, Liam Cohen, how he started off the season with Duval and everything like that, which definitely, has left a sour taste in some people's mouth. But at the end of the day, he has really turned that program around and has gotten them moving in the right direction. I love what Liam Cohen and the Jaguars have going into this playoff run. But yeah, Packers, Vikings 12.5-point favorites. JJ McCarthy will be getting the start in this one from what I've been seeing. Clayton Tune getting the start for the Packers. So probably leaning on the Vikings here. As we talked about yesterday, if you were live with me yesterday, week 18, week 1, typically the hardest weeks to gamble on in the NFL. Week 1, you don't really know who is who. And week 18, you know who is who, but it's really who's playing and who's going to show up and show out. Makes it a game not to bet on. You bet, brother. You bet. Honestly, you can see Cowboys under 52. Bought the 3. Under. You bought 3 points up. Okay. Under 49. I would probably go over on both of these if we're going to be legit. Both offenses, the Giants offense can get fighting and get going. I love Jackson Dart, and I think they're going to, try to end the season on the best note possible. But I think the Cowboys offense is going to suffocate them. I'm leaning kind of Dallas minus the 3, but today might be a good teaser day, a good 3-point teaser. Just get Dallas at pick 'em and not mess around with the points. I kind of like that. And 3 points, that's ridiculous. That would be, where's the public at on that? I'm just curious at this point. Probably all over the Cowboys, right? Did I miss them? Yeah, 67% of the bets. Only 49% of the money coming in on them boys. And so thinking that they're going to maybe take a little bit off or something like that, I don't hate that. I don't love it. I don't hate it. Colts, Texans. Texans, 10-point favorites at home. 37.5 is the total. The Phillip Rivers era again with the Colts is over. Is it Riley Leonard? Is it Notre Dame's former quarterback, Riley Leonard? Is he the one who's getting the start today? Did I read that correctly? Yes, he is. Riley Leonard getting the start today. Fan of that. Phillip Rivers will not even be dressing. Seth Hennigan will be second behind him. And interesting story coming out this morning. Phillip Rivers getting some background work done on him to be possibly another head coach in the NFL. And he does have a little bit of head coaching experience, in high school, but it wouldn't make sense. And, he was able to just kind of step right in and go for it. I like him. I like it a lot. But yeah, Texans go ahead and have themselves a day. Bless, you think Broncos cover easy? You think that's an easy one for them Broncos? 14-point favorites, 37.5 is the total. Let me pull up my standings again. What? So the Chargers are pretty much locked in, right? Is it the Chargers who are locked in or the Broncos who are locked in? The Broncos need a little bit more help to get to that seed. Only playing first half sides and spreads. Chama, I like that. Yeah, no, I like that. Playing some first half spreads, and then you really want to get aggressive. You let the first half happen the way it is, see who's sitting and who's in, and then just kind of roll with, take the other side. If you really want to get aggressive. Not that I would get that aggressive, but if you wanted to get that aggressive. Yeah, AFC is locked up there. So then it's just for final seeding there. No, Broncos have the one wrapped up, right? Or is that pending the Patriots game today, too? That's pending the Patriots game today, too, against the Dolphins. Patriots 13.5-point favorites there. Yeah, Broncos are going to be playing their ass off. The Chargers kind of, they can move a little bit, but it's nothing that's going to be too detrimental. Federal with that. Then you hammer dogs to come back. Exactly, Chama. Exactly. I love that you and I are we're right there, brother. I love it. Yeah, Broncos win. They're the 1 seed. Thank you. Math is hard for me this morning. Math is hard for me a lot, but this morning, oof, it's been one. First half under 24.5 in the Cowboys game. I kind of like that. Marks, Burden, Jaden Blue, start one. Give me Marks. Give me Marks. I think he's going to get Nico Collins going to be out today. He's going to be getting a lot of looks. I would go Marks. And yeah, the Colts defense has been playing well, but they just get behind, and then it's a bad day. It's a bad day. Lions Bears. Caleb Williams never beaten the Detroit Lions. Fun fact there. And I think they could pull it out today. Lions not playing for anything, they're not really doing shit, and that's fine with them. I mean, they get another win, great and everything, but I don't know. I mean, I don't see the Lions doing a lot. I don't see them really, playing for pride and film and all that, sure. But I think the Bears go ahead and Caleb Williams gets that monkey off of his back. But again, Chicago, Eagles, this does affect seeding a little bit, but they'd still get home games. So we'll see how Ben Johnson wants to play that one. But going up against Dan Campbell, he'll probably be running Dan Campbell's playbook, trying to run up that score. So I would keep an eye on that. Chargers, Broncos. I think the Broncos cover too. I do think the Broncos will end up covering that. Chiefs, Raiders. Call me crazy. Give me the Raiders. Who the hell is starting for the Chiefs again? Who the hell is playing for the Chiefs anymore? I mean, what are they even playing for anymore? I think they need to lose this game, get a little bit better of a draft stock right now. And maybe the Raiders come out with a win. Rumors coming out that Pete Carroll will be out as the head coach coming up probably tomorrow with that news, which is, I think, expected. I mean, no one was expecting the Raiders to be this good. They were more expecting them to be this bad. So I don't really blame a lot of that on Pete Carroll and what he was handed. I wouldn't be shocked if he does get another year, but the rumors coming out that the hot seat is extremely real for Pete Carroll. Cardinals, Rams, fine. I'll talk about this game. My team sucks. My team sucks so much. I mean, it's so bad. It's so bad. And there's no light at the end of the tunnel. The fan base here doesn't believe that we're going to be able to go to the draft or go to free agency and get anyone that wants to come to Arizona and play well. Not to mention that all, confidence in head coach, front office, and offensive, defensive coordinators is at an all-time low. While as the other three teams in our division are looking at going into the playoffs, just depending. Beat the Rams for you Niner fans. I would love to. I would love to beat them for you guys. I really would. That's asking a lot of the Arizona Cardinals. Belt to ass. Give me the Rams minus 14.5. Roman, how you doing, brother? Thank you for the follow. How do I feel about Ravens minus 3.5? Sharp says it's a 5-unit play. You're Sharp says it's a 5-unit play. That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. Baltimore 3.5-point favorites on the road. Sunday night football coming at us. 42% of the bets, 44% of the money coming in on the Ravens. What is TJ Watt's status? I have not heard an official designation. Give me 2 seconds. He said lock of the month. Hopefully he knows something we don't. I mean, seriously, if he's now breaking TJ Watt excited to play Sunday. Good morning. Per rap sheet, Aaron Rodgers could return for another season. That's expected. TJ Watt will for sure be playing tonight. Lamar Jackson is back as well. And that's where I think the issue is. Watson, DK out. Yeah, DK is out. That makes sense because of, he allegedly punched a fan. But he just punched the way. Anyway, it doesn't matter. DK out, sure. That's going to absolutely suck for the Steelers. Here's my thing, though. And I was talking to my Ravens fan the other day, and he was like, damn, I wish Huntley was still in. I wish Huntley was still in. Hope they sit Lamar on. And that's always the issue with the Ravens. And this is a win and get in type of a game. I do think that benefits, and just talking quarterback to quarterback, I do think that benefits Rodgers just being in that position, more being there with the lights being brighter. Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, no disrespect to them whatsoever. They are used to that type of a scenario too. But Rodgers has shown that he can pull through in those situations. And that the real question is going to be, what kind of a Baltimore team do we see? Are we going to see a Ravens team that does rely heavily on King Henry and that run game, and then picks and chooses for the play action and everything? Or are we going to see, no, we got to throw the ball on the Steelers for whatever reason? That's going to be our game plan going in here today. I'll be honest, I'm leaning on the Steelers. I'm leaning on the Steelers. It's a 3.5 point spread. So if we want to, think about this a little bit more numbers wise, theoretically speaking, this would be a 6.5 point game to the Ravens, with the 3 points coming. The less than 3 coming because Steelers are the home team. And you're also going to be in Pittsburgh. You're going to be in Pittsburgh Sunday Night Football. Oh, mama, I can hear from my life. Yeah, it's going to be rocking there. It's going to be rocking. I'm leaning. Yeah, it's a tough barn to play in. I'm leaning Steelers, if I'm going to be honest. I understand where your Sharp is coming from, and I do think that even with TJ Watt being back, it's going to create, that run game is going to be an issue for him. However, it is TJ Watt. And the fact that, again, let's remember this. It's been forever since the Steelers had won a game without TJ Watt, and then they come out the last couple of weeks and put belt to ass. You know what I mean? That defense still being able to show up and do what they do. Now they get TJ Watt back. It's not a defense that revolves around TJ Watt anymore. It's a defense that can still work without TJ, and now they get him back. I think the Ravens are exhausted this year. Dude, the Ravens don't even just look exhausted. I mean, all of the reports coming out of that building is nothing is going well. But besides winning football games, there is nothing in the Ravens organizations that's worried. Roman, dude, you do what you got to do, brother. But and thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate you. But there's nothing going on there. There's just nothing going on well. People want Harbaugh out. A lot of players want Harbaugh out. Apparently, there's some tension between Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson. Now, with that being said, do I think Harbaugh is one of the coaches I'm looking at getting fired tomorrow if he misses the playoffs? No. No, not really. I mean, you look at the season, all of the Lamar injuries, all of the other injuries, and just questionable play calling with Derrick Henry not running him all the time. I think he'll be back. I think same thing with Tomlin. These are the two head coaches that people are like, oh, well, they got to get fired. They got to get fired. Listen, I understand you're tired of going 9-8 and everything, but you're still winning records. You're still making the playoffs, yada, yada, yada. Don't get me wrong. You're losing, but who do I want in the draft? I'll be honest with you, bro. I'll be honest. If the Cardinals decided for the draft this year to just go with literally O-line, D-line, I'm a happy man. I'm a happy man because we have no foundation. We have no foundation to build this team off of. Tell me one thing the Cardinals do well besides just having Trey McBride on the team. They don't do anything particularly well. There's not one thing you can point at and be like, yes, this is what the Cardinals are known for. The Cardinals don't have an identity. And so if we're going to go into an identity, especially the way I'm seeing the offenses shift and the defenses shift right now, the games are being played in the trenches. You start looking at who's won the Super Bowl in the last 3-4 years. It's been one in the trenches. It's been one in the run game. Yeah, there have been some flashy throws and everything like that, but offense, D-line, O-line, D-line, that's where you win ball games. And we've got a great running back room, so let's protect the running back room. If we decide to go with a number 1, a number 5 or whatever quarterback pick, I've been hearing that it would be Deontay Moore. I always mess up his name. Out of Oregon, that the Cardinals would be looking at, but I would rather just O-line, D-line. Let's get a foundation. I would rather be known for, they can't win a football game, but damn, can you see what they do in the trenches and what they do there? That's a good foundation the Cardinals can build off of and go, yeah, Will Johnson was a great pick. That was a great pick. Love Will Johnson. And, Monty, is the team constructed like shit? Yeah, absolutely. I think he was been kind of handcuffed due to the whole, Kyler Murray contract of it all that was signed. But he's going to be gone. Thank God. I'm fine with eating that dead cat money. But yeah, let's rip that Band-Aid off. But yeah, a lot of good games on. There's some good games on today. Commanders, Eagles. Eagles are going to go belt to ass. 3 points. I mean, I know no one's going to be playing, but still that Commanders team has been playing nothing but second stringers for most of this season. What a fall from graces. Am I from Arizona? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that, yeah, I'm wearing this willingly. I am wearing this willingly, brother. This is my team. And I saw this one fan go off yesterday on the Cardinals, and he's like, I'm an Arizona sports fan. I'm not used to winning. I understand we suck, and that 2001 was a fluke. But at least when the D-backs suck or the Suns suck, ownership, the team, it's thank you fans. We're going to try better next year. These are our plans moving forward, yada, yada, yada. And the Cardinals are just like, fuck y'all, we are increasing our season ticket prices. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. This organization is such a joke. It's such a joke. And yet everyone else in the division is vying for playoff spots. I can't stand this organization. But I will be a Cardinals fan till I die or they move. And honestly, I would not be too upset if they moved. But bring back my Coyotes. Bring back my Yotes. Still feels weird not having the Yotes. And the Kachina jerseys. Ooh, those things were beautiful. Those things were beautiful. Any other breaking news coming out today? Anyone else starting? Cardinals to yeah, let's get the Cardinals to London. Come on. Cowboys or Giants? I'm leaning on the Cowboys. I think that offense is just going to be too explosive for that defense to handle. And say what you want about the Cowboys defense, but they can get some stops when needed. And I think the Giants are going to be looking for one of those top 5 draft spots. So I am leaning on them boys. I am also leaning on the over. We are seeing it move up a little bit. It was at 49.5 when we were talking about it earlier. Now up to 50.5. I would go 50. I would go over 50.5 and Dallas minus that 3. Giants tanking. Yeah, they've been tanking. I don't know. Who the hell are they going to bring in as their next head coach? Who the hell? I mean, I think Dable would be a good fit. I think Brian Dable would be a great fit again. I don't know why they fired him. If anything, the GM should have been fired. They're going to give him one more draft. That's going to be terrible. But Cardinals to London. Cardinals ain't moving to London. I wish. But then again, our owner is so freaking cheap. How cheap? He's so cheap. He would go over to London. He'd move the entire team to London if his flight was paid for. That's how cheap he is. If you gave him the opportunity, he'd be out of here in a heartbeat for a little bit bigger of a stadium, a little bit more money, and just holding the Cardinals hostage. And then what kind of a fan? I can't, because I can't be a Rams fan. I can't be a 49ers fan or a Seahawks fan. My parents are from Chicago, so I'd probably go back to being a Bears fan. But I can't stand Caleb Williams. I think he needs a little bit more development. The Bears, and I love the way the Bears are playing. And I think they do have a solid chance at making a playoff run because of that defense. And as long as Caleb Williams can minimize, mistakes, they are not going to be in a bad place going into playoffs. Same thing with the Bills. Tough part with the Bills, Josh Allen has to go like full Josh Allen mode every single game for them to have a chance to win. And that is just so much to ask for every single game. My dad is a Dolphins fan. Oh, Arturo, truer words have never been spoken. But hey, it looks like they might be getting rid of Tua. I know they benched him and everything, but I don't know if that means shit. The offseason is going to be very interesting in the NFL. That's for damn sure. And that's going to start tomorrow. We're going to have a lot to talk about tomorrow. Heads will be rolling tomorrow. I got to see if I can lobby for Cardinals to do the same. But with that being said, we got 15 minutes till kickoff. I got to go get my final bets in. I got to go get a couple things done in the house before we get sat down watching football. But hey, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Shout out to everyone here on Rumble, over on YouTube, X, TikTok. Y'all are the best. If you like what we're cooking, please hit those like buttons, hit the follow buttons. Does help out a lot more than you know. But with all of that, I'm the Brofict one, AJ. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you next time on Degenerate Takes.